Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. So on today's video is the must-have travel document to those who are permitted to enter the Philippines this time. Details coming right up. So the Bureau of Immigration has just posted their Bureau of Immigration Guide to Travel Restriction. In this post, this was categorized according to travelers who are allowed to enter the Philippines this time, and what are the travel documents that they need to show before departure or before they are allowed to board the aircraft, as this will be checked with the immigration officer when you land in the Philippines. So let's go over these categories and the specific travel documents that the immigration needs or the airline needs when you go home to the Philippines this time during the time of the pandemic. So we have three categories on here. We have Filipinos, balikbayans or former Filipinos, and foreign nationals with valid and existing visa. Let's first discuss the Filipino category on what the travel documents that they need when you go home to the Philippines this time. So for Filipinos, they need your valid Philippine passport or your identification certificate as proof of recognition as Filipino citizen or Citizenship Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003, certificate under RA 9225. So this is the dual citizenship. This is what the RA 9225 is. So if you are a former Filipino and have naturalized abroad and applied for a dual citizenship, you belong in this category and you are allowed to enter the Philippines this time. Like they said on their category, if you are a Filipino, you need your valid Philippine passport. This applies to those who are permanent resident of a particular country or somebody who is on a tourist visa on a particular country. So this is a traveler who is still a holder of a Philippine passport. Of course, this is a valid Philippine passport. Our second category are balikbayans. So balikbayans, these are former Filipinos. For example, you went to the States, you have naturalized, but you did not apply for dual citizenship. You are under the former Filipino or balikbayan category. You are still allowed to enter the Philippines this time with what the Philippine travel restriction is right now implemented by the Philippine government. These are the documents that they need for you to show before you board the aircraft. From non-visa required country under Executive Order 408, Filipinos or former Filipino and their spouse and children who are traveling with them are allowed to enter the Philippines. So if you are a former Filipino or a balikbayan and you are traveling with your spouse or your children going to the Philippines, they are traveling with you. They don't need to secure visa anymore and able to travel to the Philippines. As long as they are traveling with you, a former Filipino or a balikbayan, there is no need to secure a 9A visa for them. Just make sure to bring your old Philippine passport or your PSA birth certificate showing that you were a former Filipino before. So please don't forget those documents. And if you are traveling with your family, your spouse and children, make sure to bring with you your marriage certificate and the birth certificates of your children. And our last category are foreign nationals with valid and existing visa. These are foreign nationals that are issued 9A visa before the travel restriction was imposed. So now that it was partially lifted, they are now allowed to travel to the Philippines with the following travel documents. For this, they need a valid visa and ACI card. Those holding 9A visa and Special Resident Retirees Visa or SRRV need to present an entry exemption documents from the DFA or the NTF. This is the new requirements to those who are holders of 9A visa and SRRV visa. I have made a video already on how to secure a DFA or entry exemption document from the DFA or NTF. It's kind of hard to secure it, but please, to our viewers, if you have gone through the process, please share what the process, what the requirements, or what the specific requirements they really ask to secure this entry exemption document. I would really appreciate it. If you could please leave a comment, I will pin it on top so everybody could use this as reference. So to those who have already gone through the process for DFA or entry exemption document, kindly comment below what the process is and what the requirements that were asked from you if you have gone through securing an entry exemption document. So these are the must-have travel documents for these particular categories that we have mentioned. These are the Filipinos, former Filipinos or balikbayans, and foreign nationals with valid and existing visa. So all these permitted travelers to enter the Philippines must undergo the current arrival and quarantine protocols, which is you have to pre-book a 10 days hotel reservation for your quarantine, and on the 7th day after you arrived in the Philippines, you will be swabbed. So even if your results are in and it turns out negative, if it's not 10 days yet, because this is the mandatory quarantine right now to spend in a hotel that is approved by the DOH, you still can't go home. You have to finish up the 10 days in the hotel before you are cleared to go home and continue the remainder of your mandatory 14 days quarantine at home, monitored by your LGU. And also a reminder that you must not come or must not have a travel history within the last 14 days from countries not allowed to enter the Philippines this time. So the Philippine government has posted those countries or those travelers coming from these 7 countries that are currently barred to enter the Philippines. These are Oman, United Arab Emirates, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. So these countries are on travel ban in the Philippines. So travelers coming from these countries are not allowed to enter. And this will last until May 31st of 2021. So please take note of those must-have travel documents. Please take note of the latest arrival and quarantine protocols to the Philippines. And also please take note of those countries that are currently barred entering the Philippines until May 31st of 2021. And that is our travel update for today. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family whom you know that can use this video as reference. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We do travel updates, and if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will be notified on updates like this. And to our subscribers and new subscribers, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you guys in our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.